It is a torn right UCL. That is not good. He will be shut down for the rest of the season from pitching, and this is just another step in the injuries that Ohtani has dealt with since joining the majors, sprained his right UCL back in 2018. Now we can hear from Angels GM Perry Manassian as he sheds a little bit of light into the latest of what's going on with their star.
I've seen pitchers with a lot less workload have injuries. I think it's just the way the game is, right? It's a tough business, and it's throwing a baseball, especially with the velocity he throws it, and there's going to be, for the most part, there's injuries that can possibly occur, and I believe he'll be back and he'll be able to do both again at a very high level.
Are you planning to take him to New York, or is he going to stay here to get it?
Yeah, we're going to, again, this is obviously fairly new news. We'll talk tonight. We'll talk again in the morning. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in New York and he's in the lineup. I know how bad he wants to play. But with that being said, there's obviously a chance. I think he needs time to wrap his head around it, talk to the people close to him. We're in the process of getting second opinions, which are obviously important, to get an outside look and get some different opinions on what needs to be done. And once the information's there, he'll make the right decision on what he wants to do, and we'll support whatever he decides.
Let's bring in our GM Jim Bowden into the conversation to talk some more from Shohei. And you hear maybe just the crux of the two situations for Ohtani, knowing that likely he probably still wants to play, that he wants to be out there and at least be able to bat if he can't pitch. What do you think the Angels should do, and should they get into his ear maybe and be like, hey, it's best that you shut it down and just stop the star from getting in his own way?
Well, this isn't really the Angels' decision at this point. It's Shohei Ohtani's decision, along with his agents at CAA, led by Nez Balello. Ohtani is a free agent at the end of the year. He was completing one of the best single seasons we've ever seen a baseball player complete as a two-way player. We've never seen a player put up the numbers he has, a top 10 pitcher at the same time, a top 10 hitter in the sport. It's been incredible. Now, if he had reached free agency completely healthy, he was looking at a contract about 10 years, $550 million. However, now he'll get to free agency as just a hitter. So it gets complicated. So let's kind of go through what has to be decided now. Ohtani needs to get a second opinion. If the second opinion is the same as the first opinion and he needs Tommy John surgery, that will be his second Tommy John surgery. His last one was in October of 2018. Now, if he needs Tommy John surgery, he also has to think about free agency. If he gets the surgery done here in August, much better chance that he can DH and hit next year with his new team or the Angels if he ends up signing there. If he waits till the season is over and doesn't have the surgery until October, then all of a sudden you have a little bit of a risk. Can he even start next year as a hitter? Now, if he does have Tommy John surgery, obviously the next time you could possibly see him pitch would be 2025 at age 31. So if he goes into the open market now, instead of 10 years, $550 million, he'll get a deal around 10 years between $370 and $400 million. And then that deal would either be loaded with incentives in case he does come back and pitch during the contract, or he signs a shorter term deal, or a deal that has an opt-out clause at the end of 2025 if he's able to prove to people that he can pitch and be the same player he was this year. So there's a huge business aspect of this for Ohtani and his agents in what to do. Now, I know Shohei wants to play. He wants to hit. The elbow is not bothering him swinging the bat. He's got 44 homers. He's got 91 RBIs. He's hitting .304. He's been a 9.6 WAR player all year long. So, Zach, big decisions ahead. The Angels are basically out of the race. So to them, they're going to let Ohtani do whatever is best for him, and we'll see what he and his agents decide to do.
Yes, things certainly need to be figured out with Shohei, and then you have things to figure out with Mike Trout because his return lasted just one day, heading back to the injured list with a hurt wrist. For the Angels, when you look at it, is it just insult to injury for both him and for Trout?
Yeah, it certainly is. And with Mike Trout, they brought him back too soon. I mean, they had said 48 weeks. They brought him back after 7 weeks, but the wrist wasn't completely healed. They put him out there. He was swinging, and he was in too much pain. So it was just one of those things where, I'm not sure why they rushed their franchise player back. He signed long-term. You're going to need him in the future. So that was kind of puzzling that they would do that. But now he's back on the IL. He's not going to be able to swing the bat for, several days, maybe even a week. And so it's going to be a while before we see Mike Trout again on the field for the Angels. And as you said, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, including a tropical storm in Southern California last weekend, which is something you never see in Anaheim. So, yeah, things are not going well for the Angels. They had a chance to trade Ohtani at the deadline. They didn't do it. And now they're sitting there. He won't be able to pitch the rest of the year. And now you got Mike Trout probably going back on the IL. Not a good time to be an Angels fan.
Yeah, they say when it rains, it pours, and Mike Trout has missed 48% of the Angels games in the last 3 seasons. Jim Bowden never missing a beat.